Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're not just discussing another tennis match on the schedule. We are witnessing a moment that has captured the imagination of the entire tennis world. A moment that is unfolding right now in the blazing California desert and sending shockwaves across global sports headlines. Because something extraordinary has just happened. The iconic 16,000-seat Stadium 1 at the magnificent Indian Wells Tennis Garden is completely sold out. And let's be absolutely clear about why this is such a remarkable development. This is not the men's final. This is not the women's championship match. This is not a farewell appearance for a legendary champion who has spent decades building a global following. No, this historic sellout crowd has gathered for a third-round match, a round of 32 encounter at the prestigious BNP Paribas Open. But this is no ordinary match. Standing on one side of the court is the American powerhouse, the world number 4, Coco Gauff. On the other side is the rising superstar from the Philippines, the world number 31, Alexandra Eala. And the hype surrounding this showdown has exploded far beyond the boundaries of California. It is not just the United States that is watching. It is not just the Philippines that is watching. The entire global tennis community is watching. To truly understand why this match has become such a massive global event, we have to look at the venue itself. The tournament held here at Indian Wells is widely regarded as the unofficial 5th Grand Slam. The breathtaking desert venue, surrounded by the San Jacinto Mountains, has long been known as tennis paradise. At the heart of this world-class complex sits Stadium 1, the second-largest outdoor tennis stadium on the planet, surpassed only by the legendary Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. Filling 16,000 seats for a tennis match is an enormous achievement. Normally, during the early rounds of a Masters 1000 or WTA 1000 event, fans casually fill the lower sections while the upper tiers remain scattered with spectators enjoying the sunshine. Sellout crowds are usually reserved for championship matches when the trophy is within reach. But today the script has been completely rewritten. Tournament officials, security teams, broadcasters, and even local businesses across Palm Springs have been overwhelmed by the tidal wave of excitement surrounding this single matchup. And the reason is simple. This match features two of the most compelling young stars in modern tennis. On one side stands Coco Gauff, the prodigy who grew into a global superstar, a Grand Slam champion who has already inspired millions of fans around the world. Gauff represents the pride of American tennis. Playing on home soil, she is normally the unquestioned favorite. Her speed, athleticism, and mental toughness make her one of the most formidable competitors on the entire WTA Tour. She thrives in big moments and feeds off the energy of the crowd. When Coco Gauff steps onto a hard court in the United States, the stadium usually belongs to her. But today might feel very different. Not because the crowd dislikes her, far from it, but because of the extraordinary phenomenon standing across the net. That phenomenon is Alexandra Eala. Over the past year, the 20-year-old Filipina has become one of the fastest rising stars in women's tennis. And with her rise has come something rarely seen in the sport: the powerful force of the global Filipino fanbase. Alexandra Eala is not just playing for ranking points. She is playing for a nation of more than 115 million people and for millions of passionate supporters scattered across every continent. We saw the early signs of this phenomenon during her remarkable run at the Miami Open. We saw it again at the Australian Open, where crowds overflowed onto smaller courts just to catch a glimpse of her matches. And we saw it recently at the Dubai Tennis Championships, where the energy surrounding her matches became one of the biggest stories of the tournament. Wherever Eala plays, Filipino fans arrive in waves. Flags rise in the stands. Voices echo through the stadium. And suddenly a quiet tennis match transforms into a roaring festival of support. This is what many fans now call the Eala effect. It is a powerful cultural movement that has brought a new wave of energy to the WTA Tour. So when Coco Gauff and Alexandra Eala meet on the same court, it creates something far bigger than a tennis match. It becomes a collision of narratives. The established American champion versus the rising Asian superstar. The home favorite versus the global underdog phenomenon. the elite veteran defending her territory against a fearless new challenger. And there is one more layer to this dramatic story. Just 2 weeks ago, these two players faced each other at the Dubai Tennis Championships. Expectations were sky-high for that match. But what unfolded was a ruthless display of dominance from Coco Gauff. The American dismantled Eala with a commanding 6-0, 6-2 victory. It was a harsh lesson for the young Filipina and a reminder of the immense gap that can exist between a rising talent and a top-5 superstar. Gauff's speed, defense, and relentless pressure suffocated Eala's offense. Every short ball was punished. Every rally was controlled, and the match ended quickly. That result now adds a fascinating psychological layer to today's showdown. For Alexandra Eala, this is about redemption. It is about proving that Dubai was not a true reflection of her ability. It is about showing the world that she has learned, adapted, and grown stronger. For Coco Gauff, the challenge is very different. She must guard against complacency. It is never easy to face the same opponent shortly after a dominant victory. Human nature can create a dangerous sense of comfort. But tennis punishes complacency. And with a sold-out stadium roaring behind Eala, today will feel nothing like Dubai. Now let's talk about the tennis itself. Coco Gauff enters this match as one of the most athletic players in the sport. Her speed across the court is unmatched, and her defensive ability allows her to turn impossible situations into winning opportunities. Her backhand remains one of the most reliable shots in the game. Powerful, precise, and remarkably consistent. However, there has been one concern lingering over her 2026 season. Her serve. Double faults have occasionally crept into her game at difficult moments. When the rhythm of her service motion breaks down, it can open the door for opponents to gain momentum. In a stadium packed with passionate fans cheering loudly for Eala, every double fault could trigger an eruption of noise. Managing that pressure will be crucial. On the other side, Alexandra Eala brings a completely different style to the court. Trained at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Eala has developed a modern all-court game built on heavy topspin, intelligent shot construction, and fearless movement. Her left-handed forehand is her signature weapon. The topspin she generates can push opponents deep behind the baseline and create difficult angles. The slower surface at Indian Wells may actually benefit her style more than the faster courts in Dubai. The ball bounces higher here. The pace slows down slightly, and that gives Eala more time to unleash her powerful swings. But tennis is never decided purely by tactics. The mental battle will be just as intense. Imagine walking into a sold-out stadium of 16,000 fans, thousands waving Philippine flags, thousands more cheering for every shot, then looking across the net and seeing the opponent who beat you convincingly just weeks earlier. Eala must block out the noise, the expectations, and the memories of Dubai. She must focus on one thing only, the ball. A strong start will be critical. If she holds her opening service games and stays competitive early, belief will grow. But if Gauff jumps ahead quickly, the psychological ghosts of their previous match could return. For Coco Gauff, patience will be key. The slow courts of Indian Wells reward endurance and consistency. Instead of rushing for winners, she may rely on her incredible defense and force Eala into longer rallies. Because under pressure, the young challenger may begin to overhit. That is the chess match unfolding today. And beyond the tactics lies the bigger picture. A sold-out stadium for a third-round women's match is a powerful symbol. It shows the incredible momentum currently driving women's tennis. It shows the sport expanding across cultures, continents, and generations. And it shows how two young athletes, one from the United States and one from the Philippines, can unite millions of fans in a single moment of competition. As the players step onto the court and the desert shadows stretch across Stadium 1, the crowd will rise. 16,000 voices will roar. The tension will be electric. Will Coco Gauff repeat her commanding victory from Dubai? Or will Alexandra Eala rise with the support of her passionate fans and produce the biggest upset of her career? The answers are about to unfold on one of tennis's greatest stages. Thank you for joining me for this deep dive into today's incredible matchup. If you enjoyed this analysis, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our coverage of the biggest moments in tennis. Now I want to hear from you. Who wins this battle? Does Coco Gauff defend her dominance? Or does Alexandra Eala shock the tennis world? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Enjoy the match, everyone, and I will see you in the next video.